All right, what's up, guys?
What's going on, folks?
All right, welcome to another episode. We're going to take you through a couple things today. We're going to take you through our NHL predictions for the upcoming season. We'll go through season standings, who makes the playoffs, round by round, through the Stanley Cup playoffs, some of the major awards. Together, we'll go through both mine and Matt's predictions. We'll give you a fantasy hockey update. I think we're on night 3 of the season. So we'll take you through how our team's doing so far. If you haven't watched our live draft, please go take a look. We will. What else are we going to do tonight, Matt? We're going to take you through our
We're gonna
best
do a
bets.
poker.
Yeah, so we're going to take you through our best bets and do a puck doku.
Yes.
That should be
Yeah.
pretty fun. So
Yeah. That'll be good.
let's get to our NHL predictions. I'll start with my teams that I think will make the playoffs this year, and then we'll go through Matt's to see how we compare. All right. So in the Pacific, I have Edmonton taking the Pacific Division over Vegas. I could see Vegas repeating this year. I could see Edmonton failing in the first or second round of the playoffs, but we'll see. We'll see in a second what I'm using as my prediction. But I've got Edmonton, Vegas, the Kings. I was surprised about last year. I see the Pacific Division as pretty weak, so I threw the Kings in there again, and then Seattle. I could see having a drop off year. I was trying to decide whether I have them in my playoffs as a wild card or not. I ended up putting them in as the 4 seed in the Pacific. Central, I've got Dallas taking that division. I actually have them in the first overall seed in the West Conference. Second in the Central, I've got the Avalanche. Third, I kind of went out on a limb on Nashville. You'll see in my awards why I think that could be. And then Minnesota Wild getting the last wild card spot in the West as the 4 seed in the Central. Eastern Conference, I have Carolina coming first in the Metro, followed by the New York Rangers. Then I got Pittsburgh. I'm hoping Carlson, is a great addition for them this year. And after his season last year, he can probably add a lot of offense to Pittsburgh. So hopefully they don't continue to age and slow down, but we'll see how that goes. And then I got New Jersey as a wild card. I think they're obviously, for many, a Stanley Cup favorite this year. I didn't want to go too hard on them this year. I've got them in the playoffs, no doubt, but I've got them as the 4 seed, just getting in. And then in the Atlantic, I've got the Leafs coming first. I think this is their season to come first in the division. Followed by Buffalo is my surprise team in the Atlantic. Obviously, people are expecting that they take the next step this year, but Ottawa and Detroit are trying to do the same thing. I think Buffalo has the pieces to make the playoffs finally, I think for the first time in 11 or 12 years or whatever it is. So I got them second, followed by Boston, and then Tampa just getting in. Vasilevsky's out for a while, but I think they're still going to be a playoff team this year. So I'll let Matt take you through his season standings and who makes the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, I really like those actually. And funny enough, I honestly didn't take too close a look at any of your picks prior to this. So it's funny seeing what we had similar, what we kind of had close, and what we had like completely different. So I think that's cool actually. But yeah, starting in the Pacific, I have Vegas taking it. I know there's a lot of talk always about like Stanley Cup hangover, but I think they're good enough and they're all still hungry. So I could see them finishing first in that division. So Edmonton, yeah, they're with McDavid and Draisaitl leading the pack. You can't really go wrong. Those guys are going to put up like over 100 points each for sure, as long as they stay healthy. So I have them coming in second. Now, coming in third in the division, I have the Kings. I really like the Kings this year. Looking at their center depth with Kopitar, Dubois, and then Deneau, like it's probably some of the best center depth in the league. I guess the biggest question will be maybe who's in net for them with Cam Talbot and Phoenix Copley there. So if they get good goaltending, I could see the Kings being a force. And then I have Seattle coming in with that first wild card. I think they're a solid team. Like as we saw last year, they were able to roll 4 lines. I don't know how well they'll do in the regular season. I could see them again maybe surprising some people in the playoffs, but I think they're a solid team. I just think they're missing a couple key pieces to move forward. Looking at the Central Division, Colorado's still a powerhouse. You got Nate Dogg and Makar there and Ranton, and so have them coming in first there. Dallas is, it's weird that some of their top guys seem to be aging, but they got some of these young guys coming in too, with even their like Ottinger backing them up in the crease there, and then Rupe Hintz, Robertson, like they're a good mix of some of the older guys and the young guys. So I could see them coming in second. My surprise here is probably the Jets. I think a lot of people may write them off. Looking at their lines, I still really like them. I like Scheifele, Connor, solid. Their D isn't too bad, and they have a potential Vezina goalie in net. So I think with those things in mind, I could see them making the playoffs. And then lastly, coming in as the second wild card, I have Minnesota. So that's probably another surprise. But I think they could get something done and just squeak in. I don't know how far they'll go, but I think they have the pieces in place to potentially squeak in. Moving on to the Metro. So I guess this Cody, was kind of what I liked. I liked how we kind of had Jersey in different spots. So I'm curious to see what happens. I think after watching them last year's playoffs, I was on the train with them. I really like their depth. I like their young goaltending tandem. And solid too. So I like Jersey coming in first in the Metro. Carolina coming in second. Could easily see Carolina coming in first as well. They're obviously on a powerhouse, and you'll see later, but I think Carolina's due for some success. And then we have the Rangers. So the Rangers I think they're gonna feel like they missed out on more playoff games last year. So I think they're gonna be hungry to see what they can do this year again. And then I have in the Atlantic and finishing first in the conference, the Maple Leafs. I think they're stacked. Picking up Bertuzzi, some of the moves they made, I think they're stacked. I think the biggest question for them will be goaltending. Can Samsonov play up to standard? Can he stay healthy? Who's backing him up? What's that situation? Second, I have Florida. As a Bruins fan, I watched the Panthers pretty closely last year, especially in that first round there, and they're solid. They also roll 4 lines. You have Matthew Tkachuk there. Like I think they're going to still be a solid team, and I guess goaltending again. We'll see who's in net for them there and how well they play. Tampa, so kind of similar to you, Cody. I think they're going to get in. They're good enough. I don't see them being that powerhouse in the regular season anymore, especially with Vasilevsky being out. So I have them in the third spot there. And then one of my other surprises, so Cody went with Buffalo, and I could definitely see that. I really like Buffalo. I just went out of women and took Ottawa here. I think the Senators have a young group. Also picking up Giroux, Tarasenko, so they definitely have some firepower up front. We love Stützle. So yeah, I could see the Senators squeaking in, and then lastly, I think my bias is showing, but I do have the Bruins squeaking in as a second wild card. I could see that maybe swapping for Buffalo, but I would love to see the Bruins get in there. And as we seen last year, anything could happen in the playoffs. So yeah, that's my picks.
Nice. So I was taking a look, and it looks like 13 of the 16 playoff teams we have in, different seeds here and there, but it looks
Okay.
like you've got Winnipeg, Florida, and Ottawa, who I have
Yep.
out, and I've got Nashville, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo, who you have out.
Okay.
And it's interesting in the West. We're very close in the West. Our first and second seeds are swapped.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same. The only difference other than that is the third seed in the Central being Winnipeg or Nashville. So that one's
Yeah.
pretty close. The East is not too far off in terms of overall who's in, but yeah, I did want to get 5 Atlantic teams in, but I think yeah I wanted to have Pittsburgh in because that's just my gut on Pittsburgh this year. And then I mean New Jersey, New York, and Carolina, I couldn't keep any of those out. So it kind of forced my hand to only allow 4 Atlantic teams in.
It is hard. It is hard because even now looking like I feel like I still would be surprised if Pittsburgh doesn't make it, even though I didn't pick them. But I guess maybe for them being one of the older teams in the league, I don't know if you saw that, but their average age was, I think, one of the highest, if not the highest. So I think it'll be like health. If they could stay healthy, all those guys, then I think they could squeak in. But
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to be there's going to be some teams that have a very disappointing year not getting in,
yeah,
especially in the Atlantic with so many teams on the upswing, and
yeah,
some maybe coming back down to earth and
yeah,
trying to remain in the playoffs.
for sure.
All right, let's go through the Stanley Cup playoffs now that we have our playoff seeding. Actually, sorry, before that, our season
Yep.
awards. I'll let you go through yours first.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so for the season awards, the main ones, I have Matthews taking home the Rocket. As we saw, actually had a hat trick yesterday in Game 1, so I think Matthews is going to be just firing on all cylinders. He's got Bertuzzi on his wing now, and yeah, as a Bruins fan, I watched Bertuzzi last end of the year in the playoffs, and he's awesome. So I think that's going to help him a bunch, and I think Matthews is just going to be even more hungry. I think he does want to win, so I think he's going to get the Rocket. For the Vesna, as I kind of touched upon, I have Connor Hellebuck getting that. I think if Winnipeg does get in, like I said, I think he's going to be one of the main reasons why. And I think he was one of the main finalists for the Vesna this past year that Allmark took home. So I think Hellebuck, if he has another strong season, could scoop that up. Art Ross, hard to not pick McDavid, barring injury. I almost wanted to go Draisaitl on this just to be different, but barring any injury, I think McDavid's gonna top him. And then for my heart, I have Matthew Tkachuk. So same thing. I think if Florida finishes second in that division, I think one of the main reasons will be the play of Matthew Tkachuk. Watching him last year against the Bruins in the playoffs, he's just such an awesome player. It's old school physicality, but skill, not afraid to mix it up. When you need that late goal, who's there? Matthew Tkachuk. So I think he has a good chance to grab the heart. And I'll pass it
Yeah,
to you.
those make total sense based on your season standings.
Yeah.
In terms of the Rocket, I went with Jack Hughes.
Oh,
I was iffy on him and whether he was the real deal, but I think he is. And I was actually just checking as we're doing the stream. He scored twice in the second period for the Devils. So
nice. Wow.
your Rocket had a hat trick. Hopefully, my Rocket pick has a hat trick by the end of the
Wow.
night. So
Yeah.
that'd be a pretty solid start for us both.
Yeah.
In terms of the Vesna, it's actually funny. The only difference in that West Conference, as we mentioned, being the Jets versus the Predators. The reason for that is our Vesna picks. So I picked Saros for my Vesna. Same reasons for you. If Nashville is a surprise team and getting a playoff spot in the West, I think it'll be because of him. So,
Yeah.
very similar thinking between us two. Just different teams and goalies. Art Ross. And Hart, yeah, I was kind of, I don't know if it's lazy or safe is maybe the better word for it, but I mean Art Ross, I'd feel stupid not taking anyone um, other than McDavid for sure. And then Hart, even if McDavid gets the Art Ross, he's not necessarily going to win the Hart. I think it's probably happened before a few times, if not just once. But yeah, since I had Edmonton first in the Pacific, obviously assuming that they'll have a good season. After we did the picks, obviously last night, we know that they lost their first game 8-1. So this is gonna make me look a little bit bad as we go through our playoff picks. But anyways, I could see, McDavid obviously is going to be a top 5 player in the league. Hopefully he stays healthy and he'll be in the conversation, no doubt, at the end of the day. So that's a bit of a safe pick on my end. I do like your Kachuk. I think, like, I would not be surprised at all if he's a Hart trophy winner in his career, especially after last season.
Yeah, I think even though he was already established as a solid player up at the beginning of last year, I think like a lot of people, including myself, now think of him in that even higher echelon. Like after seeing what he did for the whole year, leading the Panthers, like that was, I don't know, very surprising to me to see him take that leap into like more the superstar era.
Especially when he had to replace Huberdeau. I mean, Huberdeau was
Yeah,
putting up great points on Florida, and when that big trade happened, obviously Kachuk would be able to fill those shoes, but like, those aren't easy shoes to fill, and he obviously did a great job doing that.
no,
So
yeah, he had doubters for sure. I'm sure Panthers fans were questioning that trade early on.
yeah, I think they're probably pretty happy now based on how
Yeah,
last season went.
yeah.
All right, let's get into the playoffs now.
Okay.
Round one. All right. All right, you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Sure, I'll quickly run through mine. Nothing crazy. I have Vegas taking the series over Mini. I would think that would probably be a short series. I had Mini squeaking in. I just think they could do well enough to get in, but I don't see them going far. And then this one pained me, but the Leafs seem to be getting better and better and creeping closer to taking that next leap. So I do have them taking out the Bruins. Hopefully that would be in a game 7, at least for me. But I do have the Leafs over Boston there.
All right, and then on my end, the 2-1 seeds, I got the Oilers over the Kraken, and then this was tough to look at after putting together my standings. Carolina and New Jersey. Was that the East? That was the East final last year, right?
I think so. Yeah,
I think.
those are a couple of
Oh
powerhouses.
wait, maybe. Oh, it was the second round, I think, and
Yes.
because they played the Panthers, obviously went on to the conference final. But yeah, Carolina, New Jersey. I mean, because of the format of the playoffs these days, I mean, you can have
Oh,
some heavy battles in the first round, which is kind of unfortunate. It's nice to watch the great battles, but you just wish those are, like the conference finals or the Stanley Cup.
yeah.
Um, all right, continue on your end.
Okay, I have the Oilers over the Kings. Similar reason that I said for Vegas and Mini. I think the Kings are pretty solid, but I think I'm questioning their overall team and goaltending more than I am the Oilers. I think McDavid can carry his team alone. McDavid and Drysdale can carry their team out into at least the second round by themselves. So I have them, and then I do have the Panthers. I think their team hasn't changed much from last year, and I thought they were awesome. So I have them taking out the Lightning.
All right, Battle Florida again. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right, I got Vegas over the Kings, and then I think what would be the first surprise the playoffs. I've got the Penguins over the Rangers. I figured if I'm putting the Penguins in the playoffs, I may as well give them a round to go through in the playoffs. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
uh, that's one of my long shots there, getting into the second round for the Penguins.
I like that. I have Colorado over Seattle. I guess looking at it now, I'm not taking any major upsets here, but I just can't. The team so far, I just can't see them losing in the first round with whether it be Vegas, Edmonton, or Colorado. So I have them taking out Seattle, and then Jersey. I have Jersey taking out Ottawa. I think Jersey's going to make a little bit of a run, so I could take Ottawa over them there.
Yeah, the playoffs are, I mean, in the NHL are so hard to pick because
I
there's so
know.
much parity. And even though they're 7 game series, they could easily go either way. It's just so hard to tell which ones are going to go south for some of the favorites. So I think Seattle beat, did Seattle beat the Avalanche last year? I mean, if that was the case, I mean, I don't blame you taking the Avs over Seattle this year. I don't think they would want to
Yeah.
lose to Seattle 2 years in a row.
Oh
So.
no, no.
So I got Dallas over Mini, and then the Leafs over the Lightning. Again, with this format, with the Leafs and Lightning playing again, it's, I don't know. To me, it feels like it gets a little bit old. I get that they're trying to form, rivalries and stuff like that, but it's like you play 82 games and you're going to play the same team in the first round for like 4 straight seasons is crazy. Um, but yeah, no big upsets there on my end.
Yeah, and then lastly here I have the Stars taking out the Jets. I think the Stars overall a much better team. They were pretty exciting to watch in the playoffs last year. So I think they're going to take out the Jets. And then I have Carolina taking out the Rangers. I really like this matchup, and I think it'll be tough for the Rangers fans to swallow, like not getting by again. But when you're playing Carolina, like I look at Carolina's defense, offense, goaltending situation, and I really like them. So I can't see the Rangers beating them there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, on my end, I'm realizing now that I guess I had taken Colorado. I must have been feeling pretty confident in Saros even in the playoffs, I guess. But
Oh wow,
I got
yeah,
I got Nashville moving on as well. So a couple. I mean, I guess I'd never call the Penguins Cinderella as long as they have their trio of
true.
Letang, Crosby, and Malkin, and Carlson really now.
Yep,
But I mean, they are getting old. I think people would be somewhat surprised if they make another deep run.
yeah,
But certainly Nashville. I mean, this would be a huge success for them to get into the second round. And
yeah,
then I got Boston over Buffalo. Buffalo I had as the 2 seed. Um, I think many of them haven't played in the playoffs, so I think Boston's got experience on that front. So Boston would take out Buffalo in the first round, but I think Buffalo fans would at least be happy to get into the playoffs.
yeah. And that's kind of what I felt with my Ottawa pick in a way. I think they'd be find that decently successful to get in and get some of their young guys experience.
Yep. All right, round two. What I'll do is I'll open up the full round two for you, and
Sure.
then I'll go through my round two.
Okay, yeah, I have the Golden Knights over Edmonton, so this is where I guess we might have differed a little bit. And for me, I think it's just what we saw yesterday. Unless they make a move for a goalie, I don't know how far they'll go. I don't know how great their defense is if it's gotten that. And and yeah, it seems like sometimes their team defense overall just like goes out the window. So I'm a little bit sketchy on Edmonton, which sucks because I would like to see McDavid and Draisaitl go deep. And then I have the Leafs taking out the Panthers, getting their revenge there, and moving on. I think this is the year the Leafs, unfortunately for us, take that further step. So I have them beating the Panthers, and then I have Colorado over Dallas. I think like you mentioned, I think Colorado exited early last year, and I think they're going to want to overcome that and get back to where they belong, making deep runs in the playoffs. And then this will be a big matchup, but yeah, Jersey and Carolina. I think that would be a long series, but I think Carolina will take that. So
Nice. Yeah, that seems like it's going to be a matchup, Carolina and New Jersey, that's we're going to see, similar to how we've seen the Leafs in Tampa Bay and the Leafs and Bruins,
yeah,
over a
yeah,
span of several seasons. So,
yeah.
no, that totally makes sense. For my round two, I've got the Oilers over Vegas. Obviously, this is a rematch of last year. in the same round, in round two, I believe, when Vegas took out Edmonton. You know, everything's pointing towards Vegas is a very cup worthy team, obviously, as we saw last year. Um, I've kind of been running with, there's going to come a point in time where McDavid and Draisaitl just take the team on their back and get them further in the playoffs. So I took Edmonton over Vegas, and then I got Dallas ending the Cinderella run for Nashville. In the East, I've got Carolina again ending the surprising run from the Penguins. And then I have Boston beating the Leafs. Until I see the Leafs beat Boston, I'm not going to believe it. So
I love your confidence.
I'm taking the Bees. I mean, getting into the third round for the Bees would silence a lot of people that don't expect the Bruins to even make the playoffs this year. They're missing. Obviously, they lost two enormous pieces, but losing two enormous pieces, even from the greatest regular season team, of all time, you can still easily be a playoff team, and they have great young guys too. So that this wouldn't be too surprising to me, but I think it would be surprising to some.
What's crazy to me about that is, as a Bruins fan, even if Bergeron just came back, I would already feel like we have a chance at the cup. But just without him there and being a centerman, like losing that center depth there, like you just look at this team and you're like, oh, like they might squeak in, but one player could have changed that whole thing for me mentally.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. All right. I think it's conference final time, right?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so this would be a big matchup, but like I said, I don't really think the Golden are going to have any Stanley Cup hangover, so I could see them taking out Colorado. That would be an awesome series to watch. And then I would love to see Carolina just take out the Leafs here. I think it would be so nice to see Leaf fans get so close yet so far. And I think Carolina's so due. They've been like creeping in the later rounds like last number of years, and they just can't seem to get through. But with like their defense looks awesome. Last year they had a lot of injuries up front. I think Svechnikov was out for the whole playoffs. Teravainen came back late. So I think if all the guys can go in healthy and their goalies could be solid, they have three solid goalies in my opinion. If Freddie Anderson can fight off that injury bug, and you have him there, Antti Ranta, and then you have Pyotr Kochetkov, my boy. I think they've checked all boxes. Sorry for going on a rant there, but I just feel like Carolina is due.
Yeah, no, I mean that totally makes sense. I could definitely see Carolina going far, and as you can see on mine, I got them going to the Cup as well. So I have them beating Boston. I think they've had experience beating Boston at least once or twice in the playoffs over the last decade or so. Obviously different teams and different situations, but I've got Carolina beating Boston again, unfortunately, for you, Matt. And then I've got Edmonton again. They lost 8-1 in their first game, but I'm going to continue to ride with them into the Cup final. So my Cup final is going to be a rematch of the 06-07. Was it the 06-07 year when the Oilers met Carolina?
And lost 7. I think so. Yeah, honestly, like my view on Edmonton would, I think, totally change if they who knows, if they picked up a goalie at the trade deadline, like some team that is going to miss the playoffs unloads a solid goalie, like I would totally change my tune. I don't have trust in Skinner and Jack Campbell. It's sketchy.
Yeah, I'm really banking on them making moves this year. Do I think that on paper they have the depth and the goalies to do it? No, but I think at some point they're going to make big moves.
No, you're right.
Sell the future at the deadline is kind of what I'm.
Yeah, they have to. Honestly, if you're a fan and you have McDavid and Draisaitl on your team, like you have to sell all the future. because there might not be anything left anyway if McDavid just
Yeah,
takes off.
I mean the Phoenix Suns have done that in the NBA. I don't think they control a draft pick until like 2030.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and they
Wow.
have Durant, Booker, Beal now. Like, it's
Yeah, that's
ridiculous. So I mean, it's risky, obviously,
but
but
I think fans appreciate, like, as a Bruins fan too, the Bruins went all in last year, picking up guys left, right, and center, and I appreciated it. I like to see them go for it because give fans that win, that championship, and they'll be happy.
yeah, for sure. I'd take a championship and then 5, 6 years of mediocrity
Yeah,
any day of
hey,
the week.
you're not even guaranteed mediocrity. You may get lucky with a couple late round picks and be still competitive. So you never know.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Blackhawks. They had 3 cups.
Yeah.
Yes, they had maybe 3, 4, 5 years now um, of poor seasons, but then they get lucky in the lottery, and now they've
Oh,
got Bedard, and they're probably gonna
yeah.
have a bad season this year, I would assume, just given their roster. But I
Yep.
mean, they have Bedard, and it's looking up for them at the very least.
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly.
Stanley Cup.
Okay, Stanley Cup final. Like I've been saying, I just think this is the year for Carolina. If everyone can stay healthy, I have them taking the cup over Vegas. It'd be tough for the Golden Knights to get back there and lose, but they've won, and I think it's Carolina's year.
That's a great pick. For me again, it's the rematch. I think it was actually 05, 06, if I recall correct. It was one of those years in the mid 2000s, when Carolina beat Edmonton Oilers. I think the Oilers had Dwayne Rollison in that year. So we'll see how
Yeah.
they do again. I hope they pick up a goalie
Yeah, much
at
different
some point.
goaltending there.
For sure. I figured I have Edmonton going this far. Um, I'm not going to take them this far, and
No, I love that. I would love. Oh, can you hear me? Uh-oh. You can hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, I can't hear you. Technical difficulties, folks. I think the hockey gods didn't like our picks. We'll try to sort this out. Um, yeah, for if everyone can hear me, it was 05, 06. That Carolina and Edmonton met in the playoffs. Yeah, nope, can't hear you. We're having some difficulties here, folks. Not sure what's happening. Um, let's see here. We may have to pause the broadcast.
can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you.
All right.
Happened.
I have no idea.
Oh,
Something went on mute, I guess.
okay. All good. We're back. Thanks
All
for
right,
hanging.
we are back. We are back from commercial break.
Thanks for hanging, folks.
Yeah, we'll insert the Jeopardy music as we
That'd be
as
awesome.
we go through the editing process.
Awesome.
All right, so those are our predictions for this season.
Yeah.
Comment what you think we got right and wrong, or who you think has the most reasonable picks. I won't be surprised if the majority of you think Matt has the most reasonable picks. But if there's anyone from Edmonton out there, you're welcome. All right, so why don't we move on to our fantasy team? So again, if you didn't see our draft video, please go check that out. We did a full live stream of our fantasy draft for this season, and there were some funny moments in there, and
Oh yeah.
you know, some things went our way. We lost some guys just before our pick selection, so please go check that out. But we are a few days into the NHL season already. So in week one,
and we're just going to take a brief look here, guys. We're not going to get too crazy just because obviously only a few days, but we'll take a peek at where we are.
For sure, yeah. So again, it's head to head. So there's what 1, 2, 3, 8 to 10 stat categories here that we're compared to against our head to head opponent each week. And I believe the standings are based on how many categories you win. So right now we're winning 4-3 against the auto selects, and so
Awesome.
I think our record would be 4-3, and since we're tied in 3 categories, I think 4-3-3.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it might be 1-0. We'll have to take a look, folks, when the first week is done.
Yeah.
But in any case, we're trying to win every category every week, so it doesn't change too much in terms of strategy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Matt, when it comes to points, we're obviously neck and neck with the auto selects.
Yep.
And you know, we've got some small leads in the plus minus power play points, shots on goal, and hits department. So, you know, hopefully those continue in our direction. What I see as a potential issue is the goalie categories for this week. So Freddie, they did get the win, but they won 5-3 against the Senators. So goals against average, save percentage is not too great. I think I texted you halfway through the game saying that Freddie was standing on his mind, but I think after that he let in the next 2 shots. So maybe I won't text you mid game anymore. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So tonight we have 1 point. Fox looks like the Rangers beat down the Sabres in Buffalo. So
Nice.
It's relatively quiet for us. Not too much going on. We have our player that we picked almost solely for hits, Clifton on Buffalo. He gave us 4, so that's pretty big.
A little bit of news there for you on that. I was looking today, and remember they were projecting him to play first line minutes.
Yeah.
He's now slotted in as the right hand D on the 3rd pairing.
Oh,
so that could change a few things. We may have to look to the waiver wire, but that'll be interesting because there are a lot of great guys on the waiver wire, obviously, with the bench slots being so few. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, and I think we may have to pull the trigger on an add or drop late in the week if we want to, you know, win some of these categories. We can maybe what we can maybe do is pick up a forward on Saturday or Sunday, the last day of this matchup, just for a game or something, and then drop it and pick up an extra D, because we did want to have a D on the bench. I was looking at this team. You know, this guy's got a very different strategy compared to us. He's got only 3 D. He only has 3 forwards on the bench. He has a couple IR players. But yeah, this guy's going balls to the wall on forwards.
I think.
He's got which, sorry?
I think he has room on the bench, right? Like,
oh yeah, that's right. This guy's playing voluntarily short-handed.
Short-handed, and we're only up 1. We better trounce this guy.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, we'll see, but I'm a little bit.
Thank you, Ontario, for not letting us in a paid league.
Yeah, that's an absolute joke. We can't wager $5 between us. I guess that's we don't have the authority to do that
Yeah.
in our province. I guess we're not trusted with $5. So we'll have to play in the freebie league. But you
Yeah.
know, it does look like some of these guys are veteran fantasy players. So there's a couple
Yeah.
teams that we might be playing that are seasoned vets.
Yeah.
So we'll give you guys updates as the season goes along.
For sure.
All right, let's do a puck doku if you'd
Sure.
like.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay, so this one, Seattle scares me.
Yeah.
Devils in Boston. I like Taylor Hall off the bat.
Yeah. Taylor Hall. There's definitely been a bunch more. Hold
So
on
I
here.
guess we were gonna give ourselves what, like 5-6 minutes max. Like we
Yeah.
don't want to be thinking all
No.
night. So
Yeah.
you know, it's 10:27 now. We'll give us, you know, maybe 5 minutes to
Yeah.
kind of lock these fully in.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's start in that for top left corner. Like, yeah, Taylor Hall for sure. I don't know why I can't think of many other Devils that have played.
What about Franacek, Caberlet?
No, his brother played for the Bees, but I don't know about Francis. Okay, I think I've locked in the Boston Seattle guy. So he
Boston,
currently played.
Seattle.
Yeah, he currently plays for Anaheim, but I'm almost positive because he didn't get taken by Vegas. We lost. Oh, who did we lose to Vegas? Oh, I think Bruins lost Connor. We lost a defenseman to Vegas, but I think the defenseman we lost to Seattle was Jeremy Lazon.
To Vegas or Seattle?
Seattle, I think, was Jeremy Lazon.
How do you
I think
spell
it's
that?
LAU maybe. Yeah,
Lawson.
I'm 99% sure.
Let's go. Big
Okay.
start.
Okay.
Seattle 20 goals.
Oh, what about McCann? Or McCann or Beniers, maybe? Did Beniers score 20? He must have.
I don't know. McCann, you think McCann definitely did? I think yeah, that makes sense.
Did you? Do you think?
I think he was like their leading scorer, wasn't he?
I think he was too. But I think Beniers might have as well. But I would say McCann.
Let's go McCann.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice. So we got 2 of the 3 Seattle at the very least.
Seattle and San Jose. Because Seattle's got some.
Was it a goalie? No.
Martin Jones? No. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, who would they take from San Jose? Edward Vlasic. Okay, so Devils and Bruins.
Should we just since we're doing 5 minutes, let's just, who cares about uniqueness? Let's try and see how many we get.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't know Taylor Hall for this. Yeah. No,
20 plus
no
goals
face for Hall.
Oh, here we could do definitely, because I know he scored 30, was David Clarkson.
Oh yeah, that's a great pick.
Because I remember the one year him and Lucic were the only guys to have over a certain amount of hits and 30 goals.
Then he signed like a 15-year deal with the Leafs.
Yeah, then hopped right off the bench game 1, got suspended. Oh, look at that.
2%, nice.
Okay.
Devils and Sharks. Oof, that's ugly.
Who
is Meyer on the Devils?
Oh, yeah, Timo Meyer. Yep, 100%. Let's go.
It's going to be high uniqueness, but that's fine.
Probably.
Okay, we
Okay.
should be able to rack up all of these bottom ones.
Okay, 30 plus
Um,
assists for the Bees. Let's go
yeah,
Mark Savard.
that's a guarantee.
Yeah, he had like 90 points.
Oh yeah. Um, okay, so obviously Thornton and
Yes.
Marlowe.
Yeah.
Anyone else quickly that would
Oh,
be?
what about the year? Didn't Devin Setaguchi get like 50 goals? Did he not get 30 assists that year?
I don't. There's a chance he didn't. What
Yeah,
about
yeah.
What about Burns? Brent Burns.
Like I would think he would have had to, because to rack up points, like did Burns get more than 50 points? Because I don't think he scored
Oh
that many
yeah,
20 goals.
yeah. I think.
I feel comfortable. I feel
You
comfortable with
think
Burns.
Burns would have a better, like
Well, how
less
many years did
percent than
he played a
Thornton, right?
decent amount of years there? Yeah,
Oh
Burns would have
yeah.
left.
Okay, let's go Burns. Oh yeah.
Nice. That's solid.
All right, this is easy. Obviously McDavid, but
Oh, I see. 20 plus goals, 30 plus assists.
and it doesn't even have to be the same season, I don't think.
No.
So we could go like way off the board and try and get
Like
like a
I'm thinking
0.1%.
it's gonna be I don't it's gonna be it's because that's not
What
even
about like Ray
much.
Whitney?
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, we could do that. Anyone who had like 60 points, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, nice.
We were probably the only people.
Okay, let's list off some Seattle guys quickly, like because they're random. Like I'm trying to name their guys. Like
Everly.
Aberly, do they have like Tolvanen?
I don't even know. um,
So their top line's McCann,
Elmar.
Eberly. Who's on the right?
Um, what about Nick Patan? Did he play for either team?
I don't think so.
Oh no,
I
you're
keep
still
wanting to say
Winnipeg.
I keep wanting to say Kevin LeBanc, but I think he's still on the Sharks.
It's tough because they have similar colors too. Um, Kevin LeBlanc.
Who plays D? Who's on the defense court? Adam
I
Larson.
don't I don't know Seattle at all.
Adam Larson's back there. I don't.
I just don't even know who the Sharks like. Was there any trades? Like probably not. Um,
I think Tolvanen's on there, but he came from the Predators.
what would you feel better with, LeBanc or Tolvanen?
No, not like none. Definitely, LeBanc's still on the team, guaranteed.
Um, any other D? They have any other D?
Did Mark
Um,
did Mark Giordano play for the Sharks?
no. Um, Eberly.
Vlasic's not on, right?
No, I don't think so.
I just wish we could name their team.
Yeah, that's the issue. I can't even name the team because I would at least pick someone. Um,
Okay, I can. Oh, I know their top line is McCann, Beniers, Eberle, I think.
okay, and none of them.
Then second line they have Tolvanen on the left wing. That, and then I know they have their top pairing is Larson and who else is playing D with them? I think the Sharks might have gave them picks. There might not even be an answer.
No, they'd have to take someone. Um, what about who was like the British guy that played on the Coyotes and the Flames?
Oh, Barclay Goodrow.
No.
Oh,
Um, uh, he had a last name that starts with P. Brandon Perlini.
no.
He's been around the block. at least. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to think, like,
I think Barkley Goodrow. Does he play? Does he play?
let's go with him.
No, not not that version of Goodrow. That's Frederick Goodrow. Actually, that could be an option too.
Oh, Freddie the Goat?
I'm saying Goodrow. Yeah, good. Good. It's definitely not, but I honestly don't know. Great.
8 of 9, 245. Mark it down, folks.
Let's see who played.
Oh, did my audio go?
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
Can you tell who?
Yeah, let's check this out quick.
Oh, it's gonna hurt. I know it.
Oh, no.
Oh, I said it.
No.
I said
That's
it.
what I was thinking of.
Oh, I would really have gotten the other ones. Maybe Donskoy, but
No.
I knew Martin Jones. Oh my God! I think because we're thinking like I think I was thinking of like getting picked by them. I wasn't thinking of who played there.
Ah.
That's okay. That was my first pick.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Average uniqueness is 219. Dang. We did worse than that.
What do we have?
245.
Wow.
Someone picked Gretter for 20 goals, 30 assists.
That's craziness. We did great on someone had Bergie there. Like, come on, savvy.
Yeah, that was a great pick. I think that was only 2%.
All right, let's move on and we'll give our best bets.
Yeah.
So the best bets are for tonight, but we're just going to track it basically for this one, right? Like just to see. Going to be hard to bandwagon on these right now, but these were bets we had made. I'll let you go first.
Okay. And I guess the ones that we have written down, we can take a look at how they're doing.
Yeah.
So my number one pick or lock of the century is the Chiefs minus 10.5 at minus 110.
Okay.
I saw this today and I was like,
Yeah.
there's just no way that the Broncos are coming within, a couple of scores probably. So that's what I had first, and then I had the Braves money line. They're down 2-1 in the NLDS, which is on the brink of elimination. It's only best of 5, so they're expected to win the World Series. They're on the brink of elimination in Philadelphia. I think they win tonight, and I can check that one actually right now because I think that one's late in the game. It's a end of the 7th, and they're down 3-1. So Braves money line, I took at minus 155. Folks, you can probably get that at a smooth like minus or plus 200 now if you run with that because they need a late comeback. They only have 6 outs left.
Nice.
And then quickly on the football game, it is 16-0 in the 4th for the Chiefs. So I don't think you're going to get that at minus 110 in terms of the minus 10.5. But that one looks like a winner so far, unless the Broncos backdoor cover.
Nice. I like those. I like those for sure. Am I up?
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so guys, I DraftKings has a no sweat bet. No, not doing an ad for them, but on Thursday Night Football. So I like to do a parlay with that and kind of go a little bit out there. But I didn't do anything crazy. So I have a 4-leg parlay here. First line is KC money line. Obviously, like Cody said, like I was guaranteed there. I was a little iffy on the spreads just because they've let me down so many times, but I went with KC money line that, which once I love looking at the stats. Once I go through this with you, I think this second leg might be the only one holding me back from taking the W. Russell Wilson over 19.5 rushing yards. I don't know if Cody, you're able to check into that. I can't really tell I was trying to find how many rushing yards he has.
He has 23.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay. Then my third leg was Jerick McKinnon over 14.5 receiving, and I literally just watched him catch one for like 30 yards, I believe. So he was at, when I checked earlier, he was at 11 yards.
Yeah, I see 11. Was there a flag on the play?
There's a flag.
No. No.
There is a flag. But he just caught one for 30 yards. So
I don't think DK is going to give it to you. What's the over under?
So he's at 11 yards and I need 14.5. So I think that's one more catch. There's 11 minutes left in the game. And then my fourth leg, which has already cashed, was Isaiah Pacheco over 50 plus rushing yards, and it looks like he has 59.
So sorry, what was the first leg?
KC money line.
Oh, and what are the total odds? The parlay
So
odds?
total odds is plus 340 on this one.
Oh my god, that catch!
And I put a $5 bill.
Oh my god.
Of no sweat. So
oh my gosh, that's tough. So you've cashed all three except 3 yards for McKinnon.
And I literally just watched him catch a 30-yarder. I was ready to just hit the nay.
Then the napkins went on the field.
I could see him still get. I mean, they're up, so they might not throw a lot, but I think they work Jerick McKinnon in a lot for a lot of passing plays. So
I just got a notification. Mahomes passed short right to McKinnon at KC 35 for 12 yards. Penalty. Illegal inside block. Was that it?
Yeah, and I think the reason I may have looked like it was more yards was I think he stepped out or something because it looked like more than 12.
Okay. Well, folks, make sure you keep an eye on that. Matt's only 3.5 yards away from cashing that big plus 340.
Yeah,
taking home free lunch. So, yeah. So I think we'll stop it there. But thanks for watching. We'll try and be back soon, at least for best bets. Matt, you got anything to add before we end?
No, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, stay tuned because we do want to release a bunch of videos for best bets going forward. See how much we can do that, get you guys winning some cash.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Okay. See you later, guys.